And you do the same thing for 3, 1, and 2, right? You just count how many between them, and that's how many you actually have. So that's how you construct a frequency distribution. Okay. So why don't you guys try one? So turn the page. Now let's do question 2 over here. So why don't you guys pause the video, and then try questions 2 and then 3 as well. So extra practice. So 3, 2, 1, pause. We'll do it together. Oh, yeah, that's right. Good for us. Yeah, got it. All right. So hopefully you guys tried it, and then now we'll do it together. Right. So we want 5 classes. So that's step 1. Right. So now we find a class width. So class width is the largest data value, which should be 15, minus your smallest data value should be 4, divided by 5. Right. So doing subtraction and divided by 5 gives you 2.2. Now, here's the thing. We said where is the, okay, it's over here. We always round up, correct? Now, or we'll just say this. Yeah, next, always round up if possible, right? So next nearest whole number. So next nearest whole number here would be approximately 2, right, when it comes to it. So always round up or down, depending on what you want. Okay? All right, so in that case, we keep going. So now that's step 2. Sorry, this is step 2. Step 3. Okay, so since we're talking about the number of units, I'll label this as units. Okay, all right, so if we do that, now we start with the smallest data value, which should be a 4, right? And now our class width is 2, so we add 2 down, right? So 4 plus 2 is 6, 6 plus 2 is 8, 8 plus 2 is 10, 10 plus 2 is 12. Now here's the question, when do I stop? Well, I should have 5 classes, right? So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. That's where I stop, right? I should not have 6, no 4, no 10, or 20. I want a 5, so I should only have 5 classes. All right, so now we get the upper class limits. So this should be 5, 7, 9, 11, and 13. Okay, and now we just figure out, right? So going back to our data set, right? How many numbers are 4 and 5? So hopefully you got 4. 6 and 7, hopefully you got 6. 8 and 9, hopefully you got 4. And then 10, 11 should get 2. And then finally 12 to 13 should give you 9. And there's your frequency distribution. Okay. All right, so let's do the same thing for question 3, right? So this one is ages of freshmen on stats and Chafee, right? So same process. We want 4 classes this time. So that's step 1, we'll need 4 classes. So our class width is going to be largest value, which is 24, minus smallest, 17, divided by 4 this time. 4. So 24 minus 17 divided by 4, 1.7, 5. Okay. So rounding gives us 2, right? 2 again. So our class width is also, again, 2 like this last one. All right, so now step 3. All right, so this is ages of freshmen, so we'll just ages of freshmen. Okay. All right, so we start with the smallest data value, which is 17, and now we again add 2, so that's 19, 21, and then 23, because I get 4 classes, right? So this is 18, 20, 22, and then 24. And then hopefully you got 18, 8, 18, 4, and then 3 as your frequency distribution. Okay. All right, so hopefully, stats isn't too bad so far, right? This is hopefully nice little sections when it comes to good introduction to stats so far. All right, so the last couple of things before we finish up this section is a couple more definitions and a couple more examples. So next two is something called a relative frequency and a cumulative frequency. Okay, so relative frequency is each class frequency is replaced by a percentage slash decimal or a relative frequency. So our relative frequency is represented as the frequency of each class divided by the sum of the frequencies, which means we now get a percentage or a decimal, right? So they're not actual whole numbers anymore when it comes to it, because you're dividing. And a cumulative frequency distribution is the frequency distribution for each class is the sum of the frequencies for that class and all previous classes. Okay, so we'll do an example how these are done in a little bit. So here's an example here, right? So create a relative frequency distribution and a cumulative frequency distribution. And here's an example of what we did here. Okay. Okay, so this says, here's our example, right? So go back to our times of movies and so forth. So we first start using a relative frequency distribution. So first off, we got to find the sum of all the frequencies. So we're going to add all these numbers up. We should give you about 18. Okay. And now what we want to do is divide every number by 18. So we divide 2 by 18, 10 by 18, and so forth. And you get these numbers, right, once you get into decimals. So now what we're going to do is we're going to place this column with the numbers we got. And that's how we do it here. And it's called a relative frequency. Okay. Now to get the cumulative frequency, which is your second definition, all we're going to do is go back to our original one, which is here, and add each class plus the previous before it. So here's a pop quiz. What is 2 plus nothing? Hopefully say 2. Let's go over here. What's 10 plus 2? 12. Go back to the next one. So class 3, what's 3 plus 10 plus 2? So remember, we're adding this class plus everything before it. So 3 plus 10 plus 2 gives you 15. Back down here. What's 1 plus 3 plus 10 plus 2? 16. And then finally, 2 plus everything before it, 18. So notice the sum of all the frequencies should be 18, which is the last one there, right, when it comes to it. And that's a cumulative frequency distribution. You're literally just adding that number plus everything before it, right? So when it comes to it. Okay. So let's actually try an example so it comes to it. So let's go back to our cumulative frequency of students, right? So for a relative frequency and a cumulative frequency distribution for the ages of classes enrolled. So let me just quickly put that in. So ages of freshmen. So this was what we did earlier. Okay. So now what we're going to do, if it's easier, we're just going to add this on top of it. So now we're going to do relative frequency. Okay. So first off, we're going to add all these numbers up. So 8 plus 18 plus 4 plus 3 should give you a total of 33. Okay. So now we're going to divide every number by 33. So 8 divided by 33 should give you 0.24. 18 divided by 33 should give you 0.55. 4 divided by 33 should give you 0.12. And then lastly, 3 divided by 33 should give you 0.09. I know this is a little off here, but hopefully you get the picture there, right, when it comes to it. So that's how you find relative frequency. You literally just add them up first and then divide every number by it. And then cumulative frequency is also pretty straightforward as well. So go back over here. 8 plus nothing is 8. 18 plus 8 gives you 26. 4 plus 8 plus 8, 4 plus 18 plus 8 gives you 30. And then finally, 3 plus everything before it should give you 33. And that's how you do relative and cumulative frequency distribution.